So, you want a new team of Teen Titans, huh? And you ask Cosplay Dude 637 and Tai Tiger to make them for you. But you give them two rules. One, there can only be 5 members. Fair enough. 2, they can't use any of the original team from the cartoon or the comic. This should be interesting. Let's see what they come up with.
Nightwing has just given us a fantastic task, coming up with our own Teen Titans teams, where me and Cosplay Dude 637 are massively into DC, Teen Titans, Young Justice, you name it, we're a big fan of it. Of course, I'm Tai Tiger, and Cosplay Dude 637 will be co-hosting this video with me, but before we dive in with our task from Nightwing, please, of course, drop us a like, hit the subscribe button if you guys haven't already, and of course, hit that notification bell so you don't miss a weekly Tuesday upload, and the extra videos that we sometimes drop on Fridays. With that being said, let's dive in. Nightwing seems to have given us the challenge of creating our own teams of, well, our own Teen Titan team. And yes, we're not allowed to use existing members of Teen or the
cartoon or the comic.
And yes, we're also not allowed to use any of the main Justice League characters like Batman or anything.
Why would Batman be on the Teen Titans?
No, I don't know. Team Bruce.
We already have the Bat family. We don't need Team Bruce.
just alternate versions of Bruce Wayne, but none of them are Batman.
So we're talking like the Killing or the Joker who laughs, or the Bat who laughs. Damn, I can't talk today. The Bat who laughs, Red Death.
Yeah, but that's Batman as other characters. So he's still Batman, and technically. Anyway,
anywho, back in Nom.
The way that I made my team, I kind of wanted to like mix things up a bit. So my first pick, and the reason why I went with this character is because in the Injustice universe, in Injustice 2, the game, when Superman is in prison and Batman kind of needs to like create a team, he recruits Blue Beetle. The third one, who's the most popular one, being Jaime Reyes. And
good choice, good choice.
I love Blue Beetle. Young Justice did him really well. The movie wasn't actually that bad. I don't care what anyone says. I actually quite like the movie of Blue Beetle. You know, he's got this exoskeleton that's pretty endurable. He can fly in space. His weapon catalog is ridiculously big with blades, axes, hammers, magnets, guns, lasers, sonic blast, you name it, he's got it. So yeah, I feel like he'd be a very diverse character. I feel like he'd be very fun, and also, you know, he's quite an entertaining. I wouldn't say he's quite quippy like Spider-Man or, you know, Wally West or anything, but you know, he can be a fun dude. He's fun to have around. So yeah, my first pick is a Blue Beetle.
Good character. I classify the Beetles kind of like lanterns, because anything they imagine, the Scarab can pretty much create for him. yeah,
that's very true. Obviously he can't make like a jet, but yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, whatever, like he thinks of the Scarab can go, hey, I can. Like the movie gave him a great sword, which I don't think he's ever done in the comics or anything. But I mean, we'll let it slide. We'll let that slide. It's okay. Okay, so I needed to add a girl into the mix because I realized my team was very male heavy. So I was like, I need to throw a female in here somewhere. So I went with one of my favorite females from DC. Now, granted, she has been on the Justice League.
That's funny. Mine's opposite. Mine's more girl heavy.
So this character has been on the Justice League. She was in the Justice League Unlimited cartoon for several episodes. and things, but I feel like you could bend the rules a little bit. I went with Vixen. I adore Vixen as a character. I love her abilities. I actually quite enjoyed the way that they did it in the Arrowverse as well. And in some iteration, she has actually been on younger form teams. She's not always Justice League. And also she's not really used that much in anything. I mean, the Vixen we see in Legends of Tomorrow isn't even the main Vixen. They made up a character to be a Vixen. So it would be cool to kind of have, give Vixen something. Like I said, I'm kind of bending the rule, like, it slightly, I know, because...
Well, here's the thing, though, with that rule. How well does it apply? Because on the Justice League, there is a child as a League member. Because Shazam is on the Justice League, and the guy's only a teen. So, how do we enforce this rule if the Justice League is gonna?
Yeah, that's very true. And sometimes Billy's not even a teen. Sometimes he's 10. So
yeah,
it all depends on which version of Billy you're going for. But yeah, okay, we'll let that slide. Then I'll have Vix. I needed a female, not Supergirl, and like. I don't want to use, fucking Wonder Girl or anything, and I wasn't allowed.
We could use Wonder Girl.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I couldn't use Wonder Girl, so I was like, okay, I'll use a character that I really, really enjoy. Okay, so the next 3 characters, I did what I like doing best, and that is, of course, a hero, but who isn't the main person being the hero. The next generation type stuff. I went with that for my next 3. I didn't want to do it with all 5. So I went with 3 characters. The first one being the Atom, aka Ryan Choi, who is the second. Well, actually, I think he's the third Atom. I'm not entirely sure, but we don't really see Ryan Choi that much. In Injustice, he is Atom in Injustice, and we did meet Ryan Choi in the Arrowverse, but he was never the Atom, which was kind of lame. But he is the second Atom, so of course. This would bring some difference to Teen Titans. We have a character who can shrink and grow, and he's very scientific, so I thought we'd mix it up a bit, because obviously the original Teen Titans, one of the smartest characters is obviously Dick Grayson, Robin, Nightwing, whichever one you want to go with, whichever version of Dick you want to use. But he's one of the smartest characters around. So I thought, okay, let me add a smart character, but mixed up a little bit. Instead of being very martial arts heavy, he's very science heavy. So I thought I'd use a character who doesn't get much love, because Atom in general doesn't get that much. I'm sorry, that's one character the Arrowverse botched really badly, was Atom. Like, I want the goofy blue and red outfit, I want proper Atom, you know what I'm saying? And, with films like Ant-Man and stuff being a thing, I feel like Atom would be a bit more accepted. My next character, I went with Superboy. But I went
Which one?
Jonathan Kent,
okay,
aka the son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, because obviously Superboy, as in Connor Kent, is part of Teen Titans, Young Justice. He's been on the team several times. He's been thrown around, so I thought I'd use a different Superboy. Jonathan Kent's been in Superman and Lois, kinda. He wasn't actually Superboy technically. But he is in the comic books a lot now. He kind of has this like friendship rivalry with Damian Wayne Robin. We see him quite young being a superhero, so I feel like that definitely brings that, the Teen Titans are kids technically, or very young adults at least, teens, and that's kind of where Jonathan is at the moment in time. A lot of the time is he's around that age. And I kind of wanted a powerhouse, and I feel like Jonathan Kent kind of fits it, and I feel like he'd better hang out with, Jaime Reyes, Ryan Choi a bit. I think Vixen would be the only one that wouldn't really mingle with him, but I feel like I did a good job with adding a powerhouse there. I think I did pretty good. And then, my final one, and this is instantly this was my first pick. I instantly knew I wanted this character off the get-go, and that is Green Arrow. Connor Hawke Green Arrow.
I was like, wait a minute!
The son of Oliver Queen, who
See, that one makes sense.
Now, in the comic books, he's actually been used a bit more than I realized. They did have a version of this character in the Arrowverse, but they made it John Diggle's son, JJ. But he's basically the Connor Hawke character. And yeah, so basically he's the son of Oliver Queen, who Oliver didn't know straight away. And then when Oliver Queen goes missing, he dons the hood and he dons the bow and arrow. Batman's actually stated in comic books that Connor Hawke is one of the best hand-to-hand combat fighters that isn't in the Bat family. So he's got that going for him. Obviously, he's an archer, so I've got a long-range character now. And he's good at tactical stuff. So basically, he'd be like my Nightwing. You know, he's good at tactical stuff. He's good at hacking, acrobatics. He knows how to lockpick, and also, I didn't know this, he knows how to pilot many aerial vehicles and drive different vehicles. So we have someone who drives.
We got a vehicle.
If they have a Quinjet or a bat plane or a spaceship of some kind, we have Connor Hawke who can pilot it. There you go. So with my team, I feel like I did pretty good. I covered the alien, or half alien. Technically, I got 2 half aliens with the Blue Beetle. I have a science nerd. I have the knowledgeable one. I have a very hand-to-hand, get-in-your-face sort of character, but also long-range with Green Arrow. And then, of course, I have my female, who's also kind of the mystical character, being Vixen. So that is my Teen Titans. I don't know how you think about that, but yeah, that's
I like it. It's an all-around team. In your research for this, I just got a question, because I did mine on mine. What's Jonathan's Kryptonian name?
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Why'd you ask me that for?
See, I know mine that I chose. I don't know Jonathan's. That's why I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Hang on. Do you know what? Well, I'm actually going to Google that, because I actually...
While you research that, I'll start.
Yeah, you...
So, my team, basically... I love them all, and you have seen them all in Young Justice. They have all been in Young Justice. They've all been members of the Young Justice team, except for one. And mine is more female-heavy. What?
Oh, no, I got the name.
And okay.
It's literally John L.
John L?
That's it. How creative is that?
That's great right there. So keep that in mind that, yeah, my team does have a lot of Young Justice members, but that's not why I chose them. I chose them before Young Justice was even a thing. But to start off, I have leading the team is a archer, just like somebody you have, by the name of Artemis Crook. But I don't leave her as Artemis. She has taken on her other identity as Tigress.
Nice. Yeah, you've got the martial art character thrown in there. And if you're going just off of Young Justice knowledge, we see her with a bow and arrow, a sword, a bow staff, some form of baton-like things, like kind of similar to like eskrima sticks. And I believe at some point we see her use a tonfa-like weapon. So we know already, just going off Young Justice, she has vast knowledge in different weapons. So already there, you've got a heavy hitter.
I love Artemis too because of her backstory. I love the fact that she's Cheshire's sister and Game Master's daughter. And yet she's a hero. And
she's Cheshire's daughter too, because her mum's the original Cheshire Cat.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that one. Sorry about that. Yeah. But yeah, and I love the fact she uses a crossbow as Tigress, not an actual bow and arrow. So just something different. It reminds me of Huntress.
She's like, hey, new getup, I'm gonna be lazy this time.
My next one, another female. This one was more my brains of the operation. The hacker, the computer genius, and that would be the lovely Barbara Gordon, better known as Batgirl.
Nice. Yeah, okay.
Again, martial arts, yes. Skills, yes. Bat family, yes. But my thought process was, okay, was Oracle. She can hack anything. So I'm pretty safe there.
So, funny enough, before I picked Vixen, my first pick for my female was actually going to be the second Batgirl, which was Cassandra. Funny enough, how we both went like, "Hey, let's add a Batgirl into the mix," and so on. Going. So yeah, she's well. I mean, yeah, like you said, she's the hacker and everything. She computer whiz. You've basically got Nightwing split into two different characters because you've got the weapon martial art expert in Tigress, and then you've got the knows everything, knows how to do a load of bollocks that no human should know how to do in Batgirl.
Yeah. My next member, another female, Megan Mars, or Megan Morris, better known as Miss Martian. We love her in Young Justice. She's absolutely amazing. I just love her character. And one of the things that really turned me on to her with Young Justice was her relationship with Beast Boy. I loved how they did that in Young Justice compared to what his actual origin story is.
Fun fact, Beast Boy in Young Justice is actually my favorite Beast Boy. That's my favorite Beast Boy overall. I love Teen Titans, and I love the comic books of Beast Boy and everything. Beast Boy is one of my favorite DC characters, but the origins between, like you said, is because of Megan. You know, the way that she, his mom is the actress to the character that Megan bases her human identity off, which that just off the bat is not only traumatic but fun as well. But then obviously he gets injured and she's like, hey, blood transfusion, and that obviously gives him his power to shapeshift, which I thought was great. And you have the alien. I mean, Teen Titans should have some form of alien. The cartoon one.
I'm not done with aliens yet, though.
Yeah,
okay.
Megan's great. She's got a lot of power set too.
So the next one is my powerhouse, my strength, he don't take no crap, and I finally have a male on the team. And that is the husband to Miss Martian, Superboy, Con-El, or Connor Kent.
So we both have Superboy, but a different version.
That's what I said when you said Superboy. I was like, wait, which one?
Which is really funny because I almost picked Cassandra Batgirl, which if I did, we'd both have a Batgirl and a Superboy, but different versions. that is amazing.
So it just shows how much our brains are in sync, which is scary at times. My last member. So I have one more member, and then I have kind of a guest member. So I know you didn't do that, and this is just something I threw in down the line. But my last member, I actually thought I created this damn character. But my buddy, Tai here, informed me that I did not. That is Zach Zantana, or Zachary Zantana, which is the cousin to Zantana Zantara. Or Zachary Zantara, sorry. Which he's the cousin. The only thing that I did that the comics haven't done is I gave him a code name, and I gave him the code name of Mystic. So he basically has the same powers as his cousin. So there's your magic user on my team.
Yeah, so we write audio dramas, as people know, and we were talking about this Mystic character that Willie air quote created, and then he makes the statement of, I'm sure Zachary's actually a character in the comic book. I think he's like the alternate version of Zatanna. I think that's the sentence he said. So I'm like, I'm the comic book guy. I should know this. I'm gonna Google it. Did a whole shit ton of research. I was quiet for like 10-15 minutes. I was like, yeah, Willie bro, I hate to break it to you, pal, but new comic book run, because they reboot themselves every couple of years. Yeah, Zachary's already a character, and guess what? You never believe this. He's actually Zatanna's cousin.
I was so heartbroken. I was like, come on, man! I thought I created this cool character, and nope.
Okay, so before you dive into your guest character, we've got the alien, we have the martial artist, we've got the technical whiz, we've got the powerhouse, and then of course you got your magic user. Superboy's a great pick, by the way. I adore Superboy. He's the only redeeming quality about the Titan show. And when it comes to
except for when he went bald. I did not like that.
No. His relationship with Megan and Young Justice is one of the best relationships we've had in superhero television, and with the magic user of as you called him, Mystic, which I think that's a great name. I'm glad one of us kind of went down the magical route because, you know, DC more than Marvel. I know Marvel do have the magic users, but DC really goes into magic big time.
Mm-hmm.
We've got the Fate, Clarion the Devil Kid, we've got Etrigan, Constantine. You know, there's a lot of like big magical stuff, and Zatanna's great. I love Zatanna's character. They did her really well in Young Justice as well. And yeah, I mean, like you said, same magic powers, which means he's obviously got to say his spells backwards, which I cannot wait to put that in audio dramas. That's going to be a lot of fun. Please hit my note of sarcasm. But yeah, please continue with your air quote guest character that I did not.
Okay, so this one I threw in, and she would work. It's a female. She would work one of two ways. Either she's from the future, or it's after her parents has died. Now, she is an interesting character. Another character I thought at first I made up, but then found out that she was real. Even the name, that is Nightstar. That is the child of Dick Grayson and Kara from... Not Kara. Starfire. Wow.
Oh my god. Are you okay? Do you want to take
that hurt. That hurt. Oh.
I'm gonna put that in the edit. I'm gonna have Kara actually pop up when you say that too.
But she's the daughter of Nightwing and Starfire, has all her mom's powers and the agility of her dad. When you first meet her in the comics, her parents have died, and she kind of takes over their mantle, and she comes back in time to try to fix some stuff, similar to what they did with Flash, his daughter in Arrowverse. But in my version, because I don't have their parents is dead, we're just not allowed to use them in this team. I figured she could just be somebody that came from the future to get trained. You know, she wanted to learn more from the best, and so she's here now. And
well, I mean, you could still technically have it very similar to the Flash, because in the Flash, XS goes back, or Nora goes back to stop Barry from, you know, dying, which we never actually see, because obviously when she's there, it changes history. So you could just have it the same thing, where she goes back to make sure that Nightwing and Starfire don't die. Maybe she missed it by a couple of years, maybe it was on purpose, who knows. But her being there, her helping out and stuff, stops them from dying at some point. So, but yeah, that's I did actually sit here when you first listed off your females, like, hang on a minute, where's his like main extra Titan member? Why hasn't he mentioned her? And then you're like, guest character. I was like, huh? And then when you went, well, it'd have to be from the future, or would it like her parents did? I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then you actually said, I was like, hang on a minute, duh. But yeah,
Mari Grayson, my girl.
That's our Teen Titan characters. I think our team's actually pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty impressed with our teams.
I could see our teams popping up in universes somewhere.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
All right, there you have it. They have made two different teams out of members of the DC Universe to become Teen Titans. But here's an interesting thing. If you like what you saw from Cosplay Dude 637, he actually has a story coming out called Titan League, where I lead a new team of Titans. We're no longer teens, so I decided to change the name to the Titan League. If you want to check that out, head over to Tiger Tales on YouTube on June 30th, and you'll find the first episode.
That's right, folks, you heard Nightwing correctly. On Tiger Tales, a YouTube channel made by myself, dedicated to audio dramas, are written and read to you guys by myself or Cosplay Dude 637, hosts an array of DC storylines. Now, some of the DC storylines you'll find are actually connected to my Unionverse, but more about that at another point. Now, if you want to check out the brand new storyline called Titan League, as Nightwing explained, is the Titan League, which is the Teen Titans, just a bit more adult and with some new members, coming out on June 30th, so make sure you check out Tiger Tales on YouTube, which will be linked down below. Without further ado though, thank you guys for checking out this video. Do let us know if you had to make a Teen Titans team without using the original team from the comic books or the cartoon team that we've seen in the Teen Titans cartoon. Who would you use? And of course, you're not allowed to use big leaguers like Batman, Superman, or Wonder Woman. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your ideas as well in the comments down below. And without further ado, don't forget to hit this video with a like button if you've enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because, of course, it does show your support. And hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss a weekly Tuesday upload. And sometimes we drop extra videos on Friday. And of course, we have all the shorts for you guys to check out, which includes all 3 members of the 300 Bros and all our council members. With that being said, though, we shall see you guys next week.